Hi, John Gibbs from Init6 here. Welcome to the first of our Init6 Git tutorials. John, Amer and myself will be hosting videos that will teach you about Git. So this initial video will start off by introducing Git. It will tell you what it does and the rationale behind it. After that, we'll move on to some basic commands and to tell you more about some functions and features that are available within Git. So, without further ado, let's start by giving you that introduction into Git and also tell you about some of the reasons why it is so popular today. So, Git is a version control system for tracking changes in files and code. It was developed by Linus Torvalds in 2005, so it's been going for a good time now and it's been refined along the way. So Linus Torvalds is probably better known for creating Linux way back in 1991. Yeah, just like you, I cannot believe that was nearly 30 years ago. So Git is by far the most widely used modern version control system in the world today. And because of its distributed architecture, Git is much more flexible, and every developer's working copy of code is also a repository that can contain the full history of all changes made to that code. So I'll move on to some of the standout features, some of the primary features of Git now. So let's start with, I've mentioned this already, distributed version control. So once you're familiar with Git, you will know exactly which versions of code you are working with and where they're located. Git is also flexible in the way that it allows the work to be distributed between multiple developers. This makes it possible for more than one coder to work on the same file at the same time or the same piece of code. Git also tracks your code history. So it keeps a total track of all changes made and all different versions that you have. The other standout features are tracking so that you know who made which changes and when those changes were made. You also have the ability to revert back to any given version of code at any time. And you can work on either your own code or other people's codes in either local or remote repositories. So other features that are worth a mention are you can take snapshots of your files at any time. You can visit any snapshot that you have taken at any time. And you can stage files before committing. Okay, so let's move on to some of the Git basic commands now. So I'll just move to the second slide, if you just give us a second. So the first command that we will discuss is git init. So this command initializes local Git repositories. So that gives you a baseline to work from, and it initializes that particular repository so that you can store your code there and play around with it and manipulate it. The next command which you will use a lot is git add. So there's a few variants to the git add command. So if you do git add file name, that adds just that specific file that you've named. Git add followed by a period or full stop as we know it in the UK. This stages all changed files ready to commit them. And then another one is git add with an asterisk, a dot, and then a wildcard. So this stages files with file names covered by that specified wildcard. Another really important one, and you'll be using this a lot, is git status. So this checks the status of your working tree. Another really important command is the git commit command, which commits those changes to an index. The git push command pushes your changes up from your local repository to your remote repository. And the git pull is the opposite. It will pull the latest changes from a remote repository to your local repository. So finally, git clone is that will allow you to clone your repository into a new directory. So that's enough for the basic commands. So there are many other git commands which will be covered in subsequent videos. And on the next video, I will actually be talking you through how to actually program these commands into Git. So that is, I think that's enough for the first video. So I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you've learned something. And all I can say is let's wait until the next video and we'll take you through the commands that I've discussed here today. So this is John Gibbs from Init6 signing off for now, and see you next time.